Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 35th Annual SSAT Residents and Fellows Research Conference. And on behalf of myself as SSAT President, our Chairman of the Board, Dr. Stephen Stain, and all of the leaderships of our society, congratulations on being able to be here, albeit virtually this year. So the format will be that each of the residents or fellow will deliver a oral presentation for 8 minutes, timed, and this will be followed by 1 minute question initially from the discussant, and then 2 or 3 minutes of open questions from other residents, SSAT leaders, or anyone in attendance. We really want to encourage discussion. It can sometimes be cumbersome to accomplish this on a Zoom platform, but I think with some trial and error and some friendship, we'll get through it and we should be able to do okay. You have a couple of options for that. You can go into the chat room, as mentioned, and ask a question. And then Amy will keep her eyes out and notify me and the subsequent moderators to call people on out to get going with that question. Or you can just take yourself off mute, which during the presentation, I encourage all of us to be on mute, but take ourselves off during the presentation for the question, and then have that part of the discussion. We will need to stay closely on time, so the moderators will wrap things up as we go along. If the discussants who are coming up just could introduce themselves and where they're from, that will be wonderful. We've all done this before. The full program is available on the SSAT website, as well as the calendar invite you received. And you can find the link to that website in the calendar invite. Might be the easiest way to follow it along, perhaps on your own or on a separate screen. There's going to be several breaks during the day. The first one will be after this original session 1 at approximately 11 a.m. And if you need to bounce away from your Zoom desk, feel free anytime. Just take your video off and we'll know that you stepped away for a period of time and then rejoin us as we go along. Special feature tonight, this afternoon, will be our keynote address from Dr. Timothy Pollack, the chair of surgery at The Ohio State University and a member of the board of trustees of the SSAT. And he's going to be speaking on From Mentee to Mentor, leadership skills to navigate your academic career. Hard to think of a better person to do this. In the past years, awards are given to the top presentations. And while the people who will be grading will be working throughout the day, we're going to need to convene after the very last presentation and act swiftly upon this so that we can announce the grades and the winners at the conclusion of what's going to be a fun and productive day. If there are any questions or any concerns or anything from anyone. So before we begin, I'd like to introduce our chairman of the Board of Trustees of the SSAT and our past president, Dr. Steve Stain. Good morning, Steve.
I just want to thank everybody, all the residents and fellows that are participating in this conference. We apologize because of the coronavirus, we could not do it in person. I think the board believes this is perhaps the most important part of the SSAT meeting, getting to introduce the residents and fellows to the senior members of SSAT. And I think it's something that we hope is good for you as it is for us. I think Rich Hoden was on the call too. I just want to encourage everyone to submit manuscripts to Tim and Rich for the JOGS, which is the SSAT journal.
Finally, a lot of thank you specifically to Amy all hard work in getting this ready to go. So with no further delay, let's go ahead. Oh, last point, my mistake. If you look up in the top left of your Zoom, you'll see that this is being recorded. That's key that we notify you of that, so you know, and we're going to use it for historical purposes for the society, but just so everybody knows that their presentation is being recorded.